Hey, it says this hangout is on the air. Good morning, everybody, or afternoon or evening, depending on what part of the world you're in. Welcome to Lunch with Len. It's Tuesday. It's the 1st of March. My God, there aren't very many shopping days left till Christmas. And you know what? Len's going to love. Len is going to love. LOL. Not sure what that means. Not sure what you mean, Craig. Hey, I just realized that Mexico must be on a different time than the rest of the world because my computer here is always it's always a minute ahead of everything else. Anyhow, interesting. Um, I'm gonna continue today with what we were doing. Who just came in? Christy. Hi, Christy. Welcome aboard. I'm going to continue today with the Facebook advertising stuff that we started on Tuesday, and before I jump into that, however, I'm going to say this first, and I'll try to remember to say it again at the end. Susan Sure-Young is on Thursday, so she will be here. I talked to her yesterday. It's going to be an amazing show, so I'd like to encourage everybody to attend and bring your friends, your relatives, your aunts, your uncles, anybody you can grab and bring them. So we pack the house for Susan and make her feel really special and welcome. I'm really excited to have her on again. So I'm going to go, if anybody wants to jump over and keep me honest, you can, or we'll just wing it and hope that I can do this without screwing it up. So here we go to screen share the entire screen, share, and I'm going to assume that you can see my screen now. Somebody want to type in the chat that you can see my screen, and I'll just wait for that confirmation. You can hear and see. Everybody can hear and see. Say yay, Susan. Susan is cool. Yes, she is. She really is. Really, really wonderful lady. Yes, you can see the screen. Okay, here we go. I'm going to hope you can see the PowerPoint too. I'm picking up the PowerPoint basically right where we left off last week. And I just want to remind you that there's two different strategies for ads that we're working with. The strategy number one, where we really start with something like a page likes campaign, and we get people to like our page. And then we run an ad to people who like the page. This strategy does not require the ad manager. It doesn't require the Power Editor. It doesn't require anything sophisticated. We're going to look at those ads today. We left off the other day with custom audiences, and I'm going to touch on custom audiences too. So what we did last week is we looked at how to install the pixel. I'm just putting this slide back up again. I hope everybody's got their pixel installed. And interestingly enough, and I'll show this to you, but I found out that even though I had installed the pixel on my lenmooney.com website some time ago, it wasn't functioning. And I took it out and reinstalled it. So and actually there's really nothing to show you. I just took it out and reinstalled it. So you might be aware of that. I don't know why it quit functioning. I don't know what was wrong. Something happened. I have no explanation for it. I'm going to go down to avatar before we go to ads. One of the problems a lot of people get into, and I will put up my hand and I will let you know that I'm certainly one of them. I didn't do a good job of defining my avatar when I started running Facebook ads. And I will warn you, you can spend a tremendous amount of money on Facebook ads and get very, very poor results if your avatar isn't very well defined. So let's just touch on some points about avatar just for a moment here, and then we're going to jump right into Facebook. But you really want to, before you start spending money on Facebook, and even if all you're doing is boosting your post to your fans, before you start spending a lot of money, you really want to spend some time thinking through who it is you want to attract. There's no sense spending money attracting fans to your page that really aren't the people that you want to deal with and aren't going to really like the things that you're doing. So the more detailed you can get, the better off you are. And you might want to sit down with a piece of paper and go so far as to really identify, if you were walking into a coffee shop to meet the perfect prospect for your business, who is that person? Does that person have a name? It's Sally. Sally's 35 years old. She has 2 kids. Her kids are named Tom and Susan. They're 9 and 11 years old. She's recently divorced. She's a stay-at-home mom. She is, she's got whatever education. I mean, I'm not going to go down this whole list, and you can read the list. But the more you can identify exactly who you're targeting. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to write an ad to just target that person. We're not going to target single women that are 35 years old, for example. You're going to put when you actually set up your ad, you're going to put an age range on it. But before you start to set up your ads, you really want to identify who you're targeting. And the more you can find out or figure out about who they are, what they do, how many kids do they have, what TV programs do they watch, where do they go on vacation, what do they do for recreation, what's the major problem they're trying to solve, what magazines do they read, where do they hang out, because all those little bits and pieces of information are going to enable you to target that person. And we'll see when we get into targeting that Facebook lets you do some pretty incredible targeting. But you got to know who you're trying to target. So, having said that, let's go into Facebook, and I'm going to turn off the PowerPoint and get rid of that and go straight to Facebook. Where are you, Facebook? Come up here. There you are. So, here is my Facebook page, and there is the Ads Manager. Clickety-click, clickety-clack, clickety-clack, and it's loading. There's the Ads Manager. And the reason I want to go to the Ads Manager first is we're going to look at these audiences. So once again, under Tools, last week we looked at pixels, and this week we're going to look at audiences. Now, I've already got several audiences defined, but here's where you can create an audience. So, for example, if I click on Create Audience, I'm going to create a custom audience, and that's going to be based on my website traffic. Now, customer list means that you can import your AWeber list. If you have a Outlook, I have Outlook. Also have Outlook. I have a big Outlook list. I imported my Outlook list last year. So you can import from other places and create an audience and put ads up in front of those audiences. And what happens is that Facebook matches email addresses. So for example, if you have an AWeber list or GetResponse or any of the other services, all those people have an email. If they used the same email when they registered in Facebook, their Facebook account, then Facebook can create an audience out of them. But what we're going to do actually now is look at website traffic. So what we really want to do is look at people who visited our website. And here's where things gets a little bit interesting. And personally, I have an audience created of just anyone who visits my website, any page, because at this point, the honest truth is my traffic is so low that trying to segue it into who visited what page when doesn't do me any good. I'm not there yet. So one of the simplest things we can do is just have a audience segment of anyone who visited our website in and the maximum you can do is 180 days. And I don't know why you'd want to do anything less than 180 days. Give that audience a name, and then tell it to create it. Now, I'm not going to create an audience like that because I already have one. So, anyone visits your website. Now, you can also you can do people who visited specific web pages. So, people who visit a specific page and that URL, and then you can add it. So, if you have a specific page on your website, like a blog post or a sales page or something, and you want to track the people that visited just that page, that's all you got to do. And then once again, give that audience a name and save it. You also have the ability to people visiting specific web pages, but not others. So people visiting the URL contained. So they visited my sales page, but they didn't visit the checkout page, for example. So you can get pretty sophisticated in this targeting. Now, I haven't really used this level of sophistication at this point, and so basically that's about all I'm going to say about it. But you can look through this, and then you can also target people who haven't visited at a certain time. So you can say, include people who visited your website in the past but haven't been back. So somebody that went there 3 months ago but hasn't been back in the last 30 days, for example, and you can try to bring them back. So these are some of the things that you can do in these custom audiences. The other thing you can do is save audiences. So for example, I have an audience that's home-based business ages between 35 and 64, location in the United States, that are behaviors or they like to travel, and they have entertainment cards. And that audience excluded people who already liked Len Mooney. And that was when I was building a likes one of my likes campaigns. So you can create these custom audiences. And then Len's website is anyone who's visited my website, currently 300 people. And the reason, and I'll just mention this to you, in me getting prepared for this webinar today, I looked at this audience and I went 300, that's strange. That number's not been moving, and yet I've had people visiting. So I went back to my website and I looked at the pixel and I went, that's bizarre. That pixel doesn't look right. And indeed it wasn't. I cannot explain to you. I have no explanation whatsoever for how my pixel got changed, damaged, whatever it did. I don't know. But I went and reinstalled the pixel this morning. So hopefully that's going to start ticking away again. And let's see, there was one other thing. Yeah, that's really about all. That's really about all that we need to look at with custom audiences. There is, let's see, one other thing. You'll notice this, and you can actually see it. So this is pixel activity. This is the pixel. I installed this last week on the webinar, and so this is my MLSP site. You can see that the traffic is accumulating. This is already up to 140 total traffic, and you can see that I'm getting about 45 visits a day to the MLSP sites. I really just turned on MLSP sites last week, so this is growing, and I'm really quite happy with the way this thing is going. And quite honestly, MLSP sites is right on the edge of outperforming lenmooney.com. And I am phasing out lenmooney.com as we speak. What I've been doing is I've been transferring blog posts over to MLSP sites from lenmooney.com, and I'm gradually shutting that site down. I'm not going to shut it down. I'm going to use it for other purposes. But okay, that's that stuff. Now, let's go to manage ads. And let's go, you know what? I don't want to do that. That's not really what we want to do. What we want to do is just go back to Facebook. Let's see how far, let's see if I can just go back. Because the kind of ads we want to do today, at least the kinds I want to start with, I went too far back. We'll go to Facebook. The ads I want to start with today don't require us to get into the ads manager yet. So here, for example, I have a new fan page that I created a couple of weeks ago for healthy living. And so let's say I want to get likes to this page. Now, one of the strategies is to build your likes up on your page and then run ads to people who already like your page. So if I want to promote this page, just click here and basically let Facebook do most of the rest of the work. Facebook's going to put up my cover photo. They want me to write some text. I'm just going to put something in here. I'm not thinking clearly through what I'm writing here. Looking for people who want to age gracefully, and slide into home base with great health. All right, fine. That may not be. I'm not going to publish this, by the way. So I'm not. I'm just using it as an example. So there we created a headline for the ad. Now, if I don't want to use that image, all I got to do is select a different image. And I'm going to tell you, in some of the advertising, and I have done a fair amount of Facebook advertising, I'm going to tell you that the image is actually vitally important. For example, in some of the testing I've done, this river picture has done better than anything else. I'm going to leave this one alone for today. I'm just going to leave it there. But the reality is, you may think you've got the most spectacular image in the world. You're just in love with your image, and you know everybody out there is going to absolutely adore it, and nobody clicks on it. And you put up some other image that you don't think anyone's going to like, and they like it. So, if once we get into the Power Editor and the Ads Manager, we can create these ads with multiple images so that we can actually test them. We can do split testing. We can have 3 or 4 different images, and Facebook will rotate the ad, put up different images, and then after a few days, you can see which image is performing and which one isn't. So selecting the image, first step. Next step, now, gender. Though I have no reason to select men versus women. I'm just going to leave it at all for right now. Age. Pretty elementary here, of course. I'm thinking that if we're going to be advertising healthy, wealthy aging, probably 18-year-olds aren't going to respond real well to that ad. And so I'm going to probably, if I were going to run this, ad, I'm going to probably select an age range 45 to 64. Who's my avatar? My avatar is Harry. He's 55 years old. He's got some health issues developing. He does have a job, but he knows he doesn't have enough money to retire. He's concerned about his health. He's probably 20 or 30 pounds overweight. He lives at home. He's got a couple kids. They're in college. I mean, that's the kind of person we're looking for, I think, that sort of thing. Okay, countries. Here's where you can select your countries. And I've been traditionally using the United States and Canada. Of course, we can add countries here. It's just simply a matter of typing them in. If you want to add, for example, Australia, you simply type it in, and Australia, there it is. It's been added. If you're doing a lot of Facebook advertising, you can spend a hell of a lot of money doing this sort of thing and not have any real idea of where your ads are doing well at. So it's highly suggested that if you're going to do a fair amount of this kind of thing, that you do one country at a time. So you create multiple ads, one for the US, one for Canada, one for England, one for Australia, and see which one performs. Now, of course, if you're creating multiple ads for different countries, all running them in parallel, then we start to get into spending a fair amount of money too. So, that's a trade-off that you have to make. Personally, for me right now, I just stick with the United States and Canada and be done with it. Although I'd love to have a Don line in Australia, that'd be fun. Okay, moving on. So we have, I was playing with this before just to make sure everything was working. So under food and drink, for example, we have, let me get rid of, I want to get everything out of here. I'm just killing everything. So for example, if we start searching for food and start searching for interests, under food we have, we have barbecue grills, vegetarianism, organic farming. That's not what I want, but let's go under food and drink. Alcoholic beverages, yeah. Cooking, cuisine, cooking, maybe under cooking, recipes, baking, cuisine. Look, I'm looking for. I know it's here. Sometimes you got to play around with this guy, especially when you do what I just did, which is take things out of here that I already had in. Fitness and wellness. The people I'm looking for are probably interested in physical exercise or physical fitness. So let's select that. So we got physical exercise up there. Food. I'm still looking for, I know what I want. I'm looking for food and drink, and I want, there is expand food, barbecue. I'm not seeing it right now, but I know organic food. There it is. So people that are interested in organic food. So again, I mean, if we're trying to build up this healthy, wealthy aging website, these are probably the kind of people we're interested in. People that are interested in physical exercise, people that are interested in organic food, and we can just keep going on and on and on and drilling down. So, for example, hobbies and activities. Let's go to hobbies and activities and see what we can find there. Travel. How about people that like to travel? How about people that like adventure travel? Okay, those are the kinds of people that I might be interested in, or might be attracted to this sort of picture. So again, shopping, sports, technology, we can keep going on and on and on. And it's already 10 to 12, and I can spend the next 15 or 20 minutes just exploring all these options. But this is where your avatar comes into play. If you've drilled down deep enough into your avatar, you can come into this Facebook advertising, and they are getting better and better and better at this, really sophisticated at targeting exactly the person you want. How about if you'd like to relate to people that are into baseball, basketball, football, etc., marathon, skiing? There you go. I might throw that up there for me. It's just if I have people that like to ski, scuba dive, fly, that sort of thing, then I have a basis for starting a conversation with them really easily. So I'm not going to go any further than that. This is basically defining your avatar and defining your audience, and then pick your ad. You're going to run it for 7 days, 14 days, 28 days. You can put an end date on the ad. You got to pay for the ad. Of course, you have to have an ad account. And basically, you're done at this point. So you can just tell it to go ahead and, oh hell, let me just go ahead and hit promote. So there it is. It's submitting the promotion, and so there it is. It's telling me what I'm targeting. It's telling me in the whole thing, and there we have it. So that ad, once they approve the ad, and oh, by the way, you also have desktop news feed, mobile news feed, and right column. And in the past, right column hasn't done very well, but it appears to be doing better these days. So that's it. So we're all done. The ad's submitted to Facebook, and as soon as they approve it, it will actually start running. So very, very simple. Now the other ad that's very simple to run is things like promoting a post, so boosting a post. There was one. Let me give me a second here. There was one that I boosted in the last couple of days. Maybe it was over on this website. I'm not sure. It's Healthy Aging. Let's go over there. I'm not seeing it. But the reason I want to bring it up is I want to show you the result, because it's All right. One more time. If I don't find it, I won't waste your time with it. It should be in the pile here somewhere. And I'm going to boost that one, by the way, really soon. Oh, here it is. So finding new customers on Facebook. This is an interesting exercise, because look at what happened here. I boosted the post. I sent it to one of my standard audiences. And at the end of a couple of days of boosting this post, I had 2 link clicks, 4 post likes, and a comment. Well, the 4 post likes are interesting. That means 4 new people liked my page. More importantly, the 2 link clicks meant they actually clicked on the post and they went to my website, because this post was driving traffic to the website. And so these 2 people, whoever they are, and I don't have any way of knowing who they are, but I do know this: in that audience for my MLSP sites website, they're in there. So when I decide to run an ad to that custom audience, those people are now in there. So I'm not going to, let me close that. I'm not going to, whoops. Back to Facebook again. I'm not going to belabor boosting a post, because I'm going to make the assumption, based on what we just did with getting page likes, that boosting a post is very, very similar. But let's click on this. So I put out this new book yesterday. I want to boost the post. I'm going to boost it to people who like my page, people who like the page and their friends, or people who I choose through targeting. If I choose people through targeting, now I can boost this post to one of my standard audiences. So if I want to just boost to one of the audiences I've created in the past, and I honestly don't remember what this one was. It's home-based business, obviously age range 25 to 55. That might be a good audience to boost this to. I don't know. But we have the same thing. We don't have quite the detail because we've already created an audience, so we don't have to go down through all of the likes and dislikes and etc. But we can select the audience, select the age range, select where they live, and we can modify that. And then we do the same thing. We select how long the ad's going to run for, how much we want to spend on it, and if we want to apply a pixel to the ad, we can do that. And that's it. And we hit boost. So I'm not going to go ahead and through with this right now because I want to think through it a little bit more before I boost that one. But I am going to go ahead and boost it before the day is over. So let me, J-Man, good to see you. I'm going to, okay. So I hopefully you can see me now. I'm back. Could everybody see the presentation? I hope. There you go. Somebody tell me that everybody saw everything. Mr. Len, hello, Mr. Jax. So those are the two kinds of ads that are really pretty simple to do, and we can do them without even looking at the ads manager or the Power Editor. So next session, we're going to jump into the Ads Manager and see what else we can do there. So we'll create ads in the Ads Manager, and we'll begin to move toward creating the website conversion ads. That's the ultimate thing we want to do. We want to ultimately drive people to our website, capture them there, and then be able to run ads to those people. So that's the next couple of steps we're going to take. I honestly think it's 2 more sessions, but that's okay. When Justice Egan does these kinds of trainings, he goes for an hour and a half from the front to the back, and he goes so fast that at the end of it, your head is spinning. It's like, what did he say? And it takes you 5 or 6 hours to go back through his presentation and figure out what it is he said. So nothing against Justice. I love him. He does marvelous training. But spreading this out over 3 or 4 half-hour periods, I think makes more sense. I hope it makes more sense to you. So that's all we're going to do today. Any questions? And once again, reminder that Susan will be here Thursday. You'll see me throwing up ads about that pretty quick. And please let's get as many people as we can to pile on the webinar and make Susan really, really, really welcome. So if there's no questions, and I'm just monitoring the chat right now, thanks, J-Man. And by the way, several of you have, I believe, have opted in and downloaded and I know Jackson, you did, thank you, that new book, Social Media. It's 30 pages long. I don't expect you to read the whole thing front to back unless you want to, unless you have value, but I would appreciate it. Anybody who downloaded the book and just even glancing through it, give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. If you see things that are obviously stupid, tell me that too, because you know, I can look at my own work for the rest of my life and not see the mistakes that I made. So anyhow, that's all for today. You folks have a wonderful day. We'll see you Thursday with Susan Shearer-Young. If anybody has any questions for Susan that you'd like to ask, let me know. Let me know either in the Facebook group or send me a private message or whatever. And if you want to come over and interact with Susan physically, personally, you're welcome to come over. This is Susan would be happy to have a couple of you come on over and just ask her questions. So so be prepared for that if you want. And we'll see you Thursday. All righty? Have a great one. Bye for now.